Hi everyone, it's Eric Koshinsky here, and in this video we are going to talk about what is the best strategy for promoting online courses using Facebook ads. And after watching this video, you will go from knowing what you know about Facebook ads right now to having a full understanding on what's the strategy behind promoting online courses using Facebook ads. And in this video, I'm not going to talk about any technical details such as adding your payment information or creating your ads manager. And the reason why is because there are hundreds of tutorials on YouTube on how to set up your ads manager or how to add your payment information or generally how to do all those technical things. And instead, I'm going to talk about the strategy for promoting online courses specifically, okay? And you may be wondering, am I even qualified to talk about Facebook ads? So just quickly about me, I spent over $500,000 on Facebook ads profitably, and I helped someone build a $2 million course from scratch. So a quick overview of this video, I'll be taking a look at my notes every now and then. So first of all, we are going to talk about who is this tutorial for, okay? So obviously this tutorial is for course creators, but you will learn in this video that some course creators should wait before they jump into Facebook ads, and some course creators should get into Facebook ads. So we'll discuss who should and who shouldn't, and that's the second point, which is should you even run Facebook ads being in your situation right now? So we'll talk who should run Facebook ads and who shouldn't run Facebook ads, and those who shouldn't, what they should do instead, okay? Next, I'm going to talk about how to do a deep research for your campaign, and this is where the 90% of the work is done. So before you even like when you are getting ready to publish your first campaign, I always say that 90% of the work should be done outside the Facebook platform, researching your audience, learning about their pains, learning about their desires, learning about their problems, learning about their solutions, just generally learning about your audience. And then once this information is collected, you just get into Facebook and you plug all this information together and you create your campaign. So once again, 90% of the work is done researching, and only 10% of the work is done actually creating your campaign, actually setting up your targeting, your budget, and just putting your campaign together. So I will explain how to do this research and why this research part is so extremely important to create a successful Facebook ads campaign. Next is why do you need a marketing funnel for your Facebook ads, and what's even a marketing funnel, and so I will explain what it is, why do you need this marketing funnel, and I will also share a template for you to make it easy for you. So you'll be able to download this template, customize it for your own business, and be able to use it within just 20, 30, 1 hour, 2 hours, depends on how much time you want to spend on it. So you will get this customizable template for your funnel, and obviously you will get it for free. Next thing is setting up tracking. So I will explain why tracking is so important, why you need to have this tracking set up. And like I said before, I'm not going to get into technical details because there are plenty of videos on YouTube on how to set up your tracking. Even after this iOS update, you can still find videos on how to set up your tracking. So it's still possible to track your results. Next thing is campaign structure. So I will explain why having one campaign, one ad set, and one ad is a bad idea. So this is a popular mistake that course creators make, and not only course creators, but people in all industries. They create just one campaign and one ad set and one ad, and usually it's not successful. And even if it is successful, it's only successful for a couple of days, and then it starts dying, okay? So I will explain what's the correct campaign structure. So how many campaigns should you have, how many ad sets within each campaign, and how many ads within each ad set. I mean, if you don't understand what is an ad set, what is an ad, I will explain all this, and I will also make it so that you can sort of take a look at your budget and then understand what your campaign structure should be. So even if you have a small budget, you will understand how to structure your campaigns. Even if you have a high budget, you will also understand how to structure your campaigns. And then I will also quickly talk about what should you what your expectations should be after publishing your first campaign, because I know that many course creators get very excited about publishing the first campaign. They are waiting for those sales to come in on autopilot, and it very rarely works that way. Okay, so I will show you what your realistic expectations should be. And next is how to track your results correctly, so that you can optimize and scale your campaign. So here's the thing with Facebook ads. Usually your campaigns are not delivering very good results at the beginning, okay? Especially if you are just getting started with your audience, you don't have any proven ad copies, you don't have any proven audiences, targeting, etc. And the thing with Facebook is you need to work on your campaigns in order to get good results. So you publish a campaign, you get decent results, or maybe you get bad results, and then you work on it, and then next campaign gives you better results, and then next campaign gives you even better results. But in order to be able to do this, you need to understand how to track your results correctly so that you can make decisions based on data, not emotions. Okay, so who is this tutorial for? So I actually recorded a separate video that I'm going to link in the top right corner or in the video description below on whether you should or shouldn't run Facebook ads. So you can just pause this video and click at the link in the top right corner or in the profile in the video description below, and just quickly watch that video. It's a 3-minute video that explains who should and who shouldn't run Facebook ads. Okay, and once you've done that, so coming back to the original question, who is this tutorial for? So this tutorial is for course creators who already have their product, their offer validated. They already have a proof that their offer actually makes sense and people want to give them money for their program. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, offer validation, what does it mean? You need to click on the video that I linked in the top right corner or in the video description below, okay? After watching this video, you will understand what's that validation about and how to get this validation. But once you've done that, once you've watched this video, this tutorial is for course creators who already have their offer validated. But now I divide course creators into high ticket course creators and low ticket course creators. So basically low ticket means you have a program that's priced anywhere between $1 and all the way up to $1,000. Now there is no fixed line, I'm just saying like more or less. If you have a $1,100 program, it can also be considered low ticket, but generally low ticket means cheaper programs, and high ticket means more expensive programs. It doesn't necessarily mean that high ticket is better, there is just a price difference, okay? And high ticket programs are usually a few $1,000, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more. And now this tutorial applies for both groups, so low ticket and high ticket. However, I strongly believe that low ticket course creators, especially those who are just getting started in business, should think twice before they get into Facebook ads. So now I want to take the next minute to sort of try and discourage you to run Facebook ads if you have a low ticket program, because I want you to have realistic expectations and I don't want you to waste time and money. So basically, if you have a low ticket program, it's going to be much more difficult and it's going to be much more complicated to create a profitable campaign. Now, I understand it sounds counterintuitive, because how come cheaper products are more difficult to sell than more expensive products? And it's not necessarily that cheaper programs are more difficult to sell, it's just that it's more difficult to be profitable with cheaper products than it is to be profitable with more expensive products. Have, if you have, let's say, a $2,000 program, your profit margins are bigger, which means that you can afford to have slightly more expensive clicks or slightly more expensive leads. And your funnel can be very, very simple, because usually when you sell few $1,000 programs, usually the call to action, the entire purpose of your funnel is to get someone to schedule a call with you, and then on that call they either become clients or not. So that funnel is very, very simple. Usually it's just a webinar page / presentation page where people can learn more about your offer. Then you have like a application page where people can fill in their details and apply to work with you or buy your program. Then you have a booking page where people can schedule a call with you, and then you get on a call with a prospect. And this is an extremely popular model funnel among high ticket course creators, and it's very, very simple. Now with low ticket, you cannot just drive traffic to your sales page and expect to be profitable. If you have, let's say, a $50 program, it's going to be extremely difficult to drive traffic to your sales page and actually make money. Most likely you will be losing money, or even if you break even, it's going to be very, very good. Okay, if you can break even with your front end offer, it's going to be very, very good. So how do low ticket course creators make money using Facebook ads? Because it is possible. And the way to do this is you need to have a longer, more complicated funnel with upsells. So if you can break even or even be on a small loss with your front end offer, the first offer in your funnel, you make money with the first upsell, second upsell, you can even have 3 upsells. So if you break even on the front end offer, you make money with the first upsell, then you make money with the second upsell, and make money with the third upsell if you have 3 upsells. Now obviously, not everyone who purchases your first program will purchase your first, second, and third upsell, but this is a funnel. Obviously, you will get the most traffic on your first page, and then less traffic will go to your second page, third page, and fourth page. But generally, this is the model for low-ticket course creators. You need to have a longer funnel, more complicated, and you need to have upsells, which means you need to have at least a few products so that you can create different offers, right? Now, why it is not recommended for low-ticket course creators, just to quickly summarize, the reason why low-ticket course creators should think twice before they get into Facebook ads is because it's going to be very difficult, it's going to be very complicated, and if you are just getting started in business and you don't know your audience very well, and you don't know how to create offers, and you don't know much about copywriting, it's just going to be very difficult. So what you should do instead, so obviously there are many strategies, but what you can do instead is you can just simply build an audience. You can build an Instagram page, you can build a YouTube channel, or you can build a podcast community, and you can sell that way. Obviously it does take a bit longer to create an audience, but it's a much cheaper way, it's a much safer way, and in my opinion, in my personal honest opinion, I think if you are just getting started in business, if this is your first course and you don't really know your audience very well, you don't know how to create offers, you're going to have much higher chances of success through building an audience than you would through Facebook ads. Okay, so now you understand what this video is about in general, and also who should and shouldn't run Facebook ads, and hopefully you are not too discouraged after watching the previous part. So this part is all about market research, and this is actually where the 90% of the work is done. So there is this misconception among Facebook advertisers, course creators, and really Facebook advertisers in general, that it's all about those tricks and gimmicks and new fancy features and this new placement and this new campaign type that makes your campaign successful, and it's completely not true. It's actually the opposite. 10% of the work should be done, 10% of your time should be spent on the Facebook advertising platform, creating campaigns, creating targeting options, and just putting your campaign together. But 90% of the work should be done outside the Facebook advertising platform. So what does it mean? So what should you actually do outside of Facebook? So 90% of your time should be spent researching, doing a research about your audience. So what are their pains? What are their problems? What are their desires? What solutions are they looking for? Okay, you really need to understand your audience before you can start advertising on Facebook, because only after you really deeply understand your audience, you can create a messaging that really resonates with your specific audience. So if you don't understand what are their pains, if you don't understand what are their problems, desires, what myths they believe in, you are not going to speak in a way that resonates with your audience, and therefore they are not going to click on your ad, they are not going to get into your funnel, and they are not going to buy from you. And this is very, very important. This is ultimately what makes your campaign successful. Even if you have wrong placements, even if you have wrong campaign type, chances are high that you're still going to have success if your research is really well done and you really understand them and you really have a messaging that resonates with them. So this is where you should put the highest priority. So how do you actually do this research? And before I get into this, there is one more thing that you should consider while you are researching your audience, which is the 5 stages of awareness. So I want you to pause this video right now, go to Google and type in 5 stages of awareness. And most likely you'll get a bunch of graphics that will show you those 5 stages of awareness. And what I want you to do is just think for a few minutes and try to put your audience in one of those 5 pillars. So is your audience on the first stage? Is your audience on the second stage? Is your audience on the third, fourth, or fifth stage? And the third stage is the least aware. So people who are not aware of their problems, they are not aware of the solutions for their problems, and they don't really know much about what you are offering, most likely. And the fifth stage, the sort of highest stage, is audience that's hyper aware. They are aware of their problems, they are aware of different solutions that are available to them, and you really need to understand where your audience is on this graph so that you can, again, speak in a way that really resonates with them. Okay, so once you've collected all this information, okay, so how to actually collect this information? How do you do this research? So the first, most obvious way is your own experience. So most likely, if you are creating a course in a specific niche, most likely you already have experience working with that niche. Okay, so maybe you are creating a course on let's say healthy eating, and you've been following a healthy diet for a few years now, and you understand what are the different myths that people believe in, what are the different lies that people believe in, and this is the first sort of place where you can get your information from. Second one, and that's probably my second favorite, is Facebook groups. So join different Facebook groups for your specific niche. So again, for example, if you have a course on healthy eating, join different groups on healthy eating, different Facebook groups on healthy eating. And then you can see what people are talking about, what questions they ask. Okay, you can even use the search bar and type in problem to see what problems people have related to healthy eating, and really collect this information. You can create a Word document or even write it down on a piece of paper. So again, write down what problems they have, what questions they ask, and generally what are they talking about in those Facebook groups. The next place, so I'm going to give you 3 sort of sources of information. The first one is your own experience, second one is Facebook groups, and the third one is YouTube channels. So again, if you have a course on healthy eating, just type in healthy eating and see what are the most popular titles, what are the most popular videos, what are they talking about, and then go to the comment section of those videos and see what are the most popular questions and problems that people are having. And this is a great source of information. This is really how you can learn a ton about your audience. Okay, so in this part, we are going to talk about marketing funnels. So what is this marketing funnel? So basically, marketing funnel is a sales process. This is the simplest way to describe what a marketing funnel is. So basically, how do you take someone from, how do you take total strangers and convert them into paying clients? And the mistake that so many course creators make is they drive traffic to their homepage or their sales page, and they expect total strangers to buy from them. So they would drive traffic, whether it's Facebook ads, YouTube ads, emails, whatever that is, even social media. They drive the traffic to a homepage, their website, or the sales page, where they have their product described or products described, and a button that says buy from me, and that's pretty much it, okay? And bad news is it's not that simple, okay? You cannot just expect total strangers to buy from you just because they saw your website or they saw your sales page. And even if you spend some time on your sales page, it looks good, your products are well described, chances are people are not going to buy from you if they don't trust you, okay? So a much smarter way to sell products online, to advertise products online, online courses, is through a marketing funnel. So behind me, I have an example for a marketing funnel. It works really, really well. It's used by so many people online, especially by course creators, and it's just proven, and it's being used in all those, in all the different industries. Okay. So on the first step, behind me, you can see we have Facebook ads, Facebook campaign. But basically, it applies, the same process applies to YouTube ads or emails. So you can basically replace Facebook campaign with any source of traffic. It can be Facebook ads, YouTube ads, email traffic, social media, podcast traffic, whatever that is for you. I just put a Facebook campaign as an example. The next step is a landing page where people can. So on the second step, we have a landing page or where we give people a lead magnet, where we have a lead magnet. So basically, we are giving people something for free in exchange for their attention. Okay, so here behind me I used an online training or a webinar as an example. So basically, people land on this page where they can register for our webinar, for our free training, where we give them some value, where we talk about things that they care about, and then by the end of that video we present our offer, present what is our course about. So that is on the third step, which is described as a video page. And then on the next step, right here below, you have an application page. So people, like I said before, this funnel works best for high ticket products. And when I say high ticket, I mean $1,000, a few $1,000s, even $10,000, $20,000. And it doesn't work so well for cheap courses. So for example, $50 courses, $100 courses, $200 courses. And the reason why is because this funnel ends with a sales call. So obviously you wouldn't want to get on sales calls with people if you sell a $50 program, because that would be very difficult to scale because you are seriously limited by your time. But if you have, let's say, a $2,000 course, it would make sense to end your webinar with an application page, and then people would get on a sales call with you, because that would be worth your time. Okay, but getting back to the sequence, we have an application page where people can just apply to your course and just give you more details about them, so that you can appear on the sales call prepared. And on the sales call, which is the last step, they either buy from you or they don't buy from you. And it's such a simple funnel, but it's responsible for generating such great results for so many people online. One of my clients has been using this funnel for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years, and I helped him get from $0 to $2 million in sales just by using this one funnel. And as you can see, it's not complicated at all. Now, if you have a low ticket program, this funnel would be more complicated. That funnel would be basically longer, and you would have more steps in it, because most likely you would have a sales page where you sell your low ticket product, then you would have an upsell page where you sell another program, and then you would have another upsell where you sell another program, and it's just a bit more difficult, a bit more advanced, okay? But essentially, what I want you to get from this part of the video is, don't expect people to buy directly from your website. Don't expect people to buy directly from your sales page if they don't trust you. Okay, so if you are getting cold traffic, people who don't know you, complete strangers, you have to earn their trust first. Okay, things are different if they already know you, if this is your audience, if this is maybe people from your Instagram page or YouTube channel, they already trust you. So yes, you can get this audience and get them to your sales page and expect them to buy from you, because they already know you, they already trust you. But if this is a cold traffic, you need to have some sort of a funnel behind it to get them through this funnel step by step, where on the first step you just get their attention, then on the next step you just earn their trust, and only on the third page or fourth page you either sell to them or get them to schedule a call with you, and on that call they either buy from you or don't buy from you. And next step is campaign structure. So a very popular mistake that Facebook advertisers and course creators make is they create just one campaign, one ad set, and one ad. And you can still technically get results from this campaign structure, but most likely it's only going to be for a few days, and then your campaign will die. And the reason why is because Facebook needs variations, okay? So Facebook needs to be able to have different targeting groups, different ad copies, different ad creatives, so that Facebook can try matching this ad copy with this targeting group, or this ad creative with this targeting group, or this ad copy with this ad creative. Facebook algorithm just needs variations in order to give you good results, okay? And if you create just one campaign with one targeting group, with just one ad copy and one ad image or ad video, you are seriously limiting the power of the Facebook algorithm, and the chances of success are going to be very, very thin. And even if you do create a decent campaign, it's most likely going to die within just a few days, because you just don't have enough variations. So how do you actually so how many campaigns, how many ad sets, and how many ads should you have in order to really leverage the power of this Facebook algorithm? So the answer is, it all depends on your budget. So let's use $100 per day as a starting point, as a point of reference. So if you have $100 per day to spend on Facebook ads, you can create up to 5 targeting groups, so 5 ad sets, and then in each ad set you can have 4 ads with different ad copies or different ads. Now when I say 5 ad sets and then 4 ads within each ad set, it's not a fixed point, it's just a point of reference. If you create 6 ad sets, it's not going to break anything, it's not going to break your campaign, it can still work. And even if you create 4 ad sets instead of 5, it's still fine. I'm just giving you a starting point, and you can sort of test it and experiment and create your own variations. But the thing is, you cannot have, if you have $100 per day to spend on Facebook ads, you cannot have one campaign, one ad set, and one ad. And the same way, you cannot have 20 campaigns and then 10 ad sets in each campaign and then 20 ads in each ad set, because there's just going to be too many variations, and each ad set will not get enough money to spend on every day, okay? So like I said, $100, one campaign, 5 ad sets with 5 targeting groups, and then 4 ads within each ad set. That's a healthy amount of variations, but you can create your own modifications. You can have 5 ads in each ad set, or 5 ad sets in each campaign, or 4 ad sets, or 6. That's just a starting point. Now, if you have $50 to spend every day on Facebook ads, you just adjust it accordingly. So you divide the number of ad sets by half, divide the number of ads by half, or you have $200 per day to spend on ads, you just multiply by 2. Now, if you are scared by those numbers, $50 per day, $100 per day, maybe you don't have that much money to spend on Facebook ads, this is 100% fine. But my recommendation would be, don't get into Facebook ads unless you can spend at least $50 to $100 and ideally $100 per day on Facebook ads. Because let's say if you want to create a campaign that spends $5 per day, it will be very difficult to get results. First of all, because you won't be getting that many clicks into your funnel, and you will have to wait very long before you get enough clicks to get enough leads to get enough purchases. And also your optimization process is going to take very long, because you will have to wait a long time before you get enough data in order to make a decision. And then you also won't be able to create enough variations, and it's just all over the place, and it's very not recommended. It's going to be very difficult to create a successful campaign with just $5 per day or $10 per day. Maybe it is possible, but it's just not recommended. What I would recommend instead is sell your course a few times organically, so that you save enough money to be able to spend $50 or $100 per day on Facebook ads. Okay, so now publishing your first campaign and what your expectations should be. So honestly, when you're publishing your first campaign, second campaign, or 5th campaign on Facebook, my honest answer is you shouldn't have any expectations, or at least you shouldn't expect for your campaign to be profitable from day one. And the reason why is because The way it works on Facebook is you create a campaign or multiple campaigns and you give them 3 to 4 days to optimize, and then after 3 to 4 days or more, you want to look at the data that's Facebook giving you and then make logical decisions based on this data. Okay, so let's say you've spent the last 4 days spending money on Facebook ads, and then after 4 days you want to look at your campaign and see what's the cost per click, what's the cost per lead, what's the cost per 1,000 impressions, and then you want to make logical decisions based on this data. And this is how you go from having an unprofitable campaign to profitable campaign. So let's say that you've been running your campaign for a couple of weeks and you have a $2,000 product, but you had to spend $2,500 in order to acquire this $2,000 customer. So it's $500 negative, okay? So now you want to look at your data and see where my campaign is weak, okay? So maybe the conversion rate on your landing page is amazing. Maybe the conversion rate on your phone calls is amazing, but your weak point is, let's say, cost per click, okay? So you want to look at your campaign and analyze where you have weak points, where you can improve. And this is really how you go from an unprofitable campaign to a profitable campaign, and from a profitable campaign to a very profitable campaign. So just to quickly summarize this part, what your expectations should be. Honestly, you should not have any expectations. You should just start running your Facebook ads and then make decisions based on the data that's Facebook giving you. Okay, so in this part, we are going to talk about tracking and why tracking is so important for the success of your Facebook advertising. So basically, tracking allows you to take unprofitable campaigns and turn them into profitable campaigns. And it also allows you to turn profitable campaigns into even more profitable campaigns. Because if you don't track results, you are not going to understand what makes your campaign work and what makes your campaigns unsuccessful. And again, I've spoken to so many course creators who tell me that their Facebook campaigns don't work. They tried Facebook ads, didn't work. But when I ask them those specific questions, they don't really know. So they don't know what's their conversion rate on the landing page. They don't know what's their cost per click, what's their cost per lead, what's their cost per acquisition. And honestly, if you don't have this information, it's just literally impossible to create a profitable Facebook campaign. So before you can even start analyzing your data, before you can even start making logical decisions based on this data, you need to have tracking mechanisms or tracking apps installed in your Facebook ad account and in your funnel. Now, like I said at the very beginning of this video, I'm not going to get into any technical details because there are just plenty of videos on how to set up your tracking even after this iOS update. But there are no videos on the strategy for course creators, or at least not as many videos that are specifically for course creators. So you can easily find a video on how to set up tracking after the iOS update using your specific software. So for example, for ClickFunnels, for WordPress, for Kajabi, whatever software you are using, I'm sure there is a tutorial specifically for the software. Okay, so coming back to the topic. Why it's so important to just to quickly summarize why it is so important to have tracking and to track your results precisely. It is because if you don't, you're not going to understand how to turn unprofitable campaigns into profitable campaigns and profitable campaigns into even more profitable campaigns, and everything will be just all over the place, and it's going to be very difficult to get any results from Facebook ads. And even if you do get some results, you are not going to know how to take it further, how to get even better results, or at least stay on this level. Okay, and in the next part, I'm going to talk more, I'm going to get deeper and tell you what to track and just how to track it in general. Okay, and the last part of this video is a continuation of the previous part, which is tracking. So in this part, we are going to talk about tracking, optimizing, and scaling your campaign. So basically how to turn unprofitable campaigns into profitable campaigns, and profitable campaigns into even more profitable campaigns. And this is ultimately how you make your Facebook ads work. Okay, so like I said in the previous parts, you should not expect your campaign to work on the first attempt. Yes, sometimes it does happen, but you just shouldn't expect it. Okay. So what you should do once your campaign is live is report on the data that you are receiving every single day. So every single day you log into your Facebook Ads Manager and you report the data from yesterday. Now why yesterday and not today is because you want to report on the full 24-hour window of time, okay? Because for example, if you want to, the reason why you don't want to report on today's data is because let's say if you report on 9 a.m., you only have 9 hours of data, right? So you want to report on the on the previous day so that you can have full 24 hours of data. And you want to create a simple Excel or Google spreadsheet document, and you want to enter all the data that you are receiving into this spreadsheet or this Excel document. Now, don't overcomplicate it. Don't think it's too complicated. I will explain how you should do this in just a second. So basically, how to track this data and how to store this data in your Excel or spreadsheet document is, first of all, you want to look at the very top of your funnel and you want to go top to bottom. So at the top of your funnel is how much you are paying. What's your cost per acquisition, which means how much money do you need to spend before you get a sale. Okay, so let's say if you are selling a $2,000 course, how much money do you need to spend in order to acquire one customer, in order to sell one course? Now, if you are just getting started, obviously you don't have this data. You need to wait until you actually make this first sale before you can say how much money you need to spend in order to make one sale. And obviously, the more sales you make, the more accurate this data is. So you want to go top to bottom. So first, what is your cost per acquisition? How much money do you need to spend in order to make one sale? And if you have a campaign where the cost per acquisition, the cost per one sale is less than the money that you make from this sale, you leave this campaign as is, because that means this campaign is profitable. So just to give you an example, if you have a $2,000 program and campaign one needs to spend on average, let's say $1,600 in order to make you this one sale, you have $400 profit, and you don't really want to touch this campaign because you don't want to change something that's working. So in that case, and by the way, this is a great scenario. So what you should do in that case is duplicate that campaign and make a small variation. So either slightly change the age range or slightly change the budget, but don't change anything drastically. Because when you change something drastically, such as your targeting audience, this campaign may not be profitable. This duplicated campaign may not be profitable. So basically you want to just take the first campaign and scale it by duplicating it and making small variations such as different budget or slightly different age range. Or usually you can just do budget, or you can also do different placements. Now, if you have a campaign that's not profitable, so let's say you have a $2,000 product and campaign number 2 needs to spend on average, let's say $2,600 to make one sale, that's $600 negative. So you are using $600 each time you make a sale. So obviously that campaign is not profitable. So what you need to do is, again, look top to bottom. So okay, our cost per acquisition is higher than the money that we make from this course. So let's go level below. So what's the next most important metric? So let's say if you have a webinar funnel, so on the first step, you have a webinar, then you have an application page, then booking page, and then the sales call. The next most important metric is your sales call conversion rate, okay? So you want to go to the very end of your funnel and see what's the next most important metric after cost per client acquisition. And you may find that your, let's say and you also need to be aware of what's a good percentage what's a good conversion rate for sales calls. You need to have like a starting point. So let's say that you know that a good conversion rate for sales call would be, let's say, 20%. And if your conversion rate is, let's say, 30%, that means you are good here at this step of your funnel, and you need to go to the level below it. But if your sales call conversion rate is, let's say, 5%, this is how you know where you need to improve in order to make this funnel profitable, okay? So if your sales calls conversion rate is below where it needs to be, this is where you need to improve in order to make this funnel profitable. However, if your sales calls conversion rate is where it needs to be or is even higher, it means you need to go even deeper into your funnel to see where the leaks are. And you may find out that let's say that the application, the percentage of people that submit your application is very low. So that may mean that maybe you have too many questions on your application page, or maybe those questions are weird or something like this, and you need to change your application in order to increase the percentage of people who submit this application page. And if the percentage is lower where it needs to be, you need to fix it. If it's higher, or if it's where it needs to be, it means your application page is fine, and you need to go even deeper into your funnel. And the next step may be your webinar page, where you have your webinar video or your value video or your video presentation. And if the number of people that go from your webinar page to your application page is low, it means that there is something wrong with your webinar. Maybe it's not convincing, maybe it didn't give people enough value, maybe you didn't put a call to action, there is just something wrong with your video, you need to fix it. However, if the percentage of people that go from your webinar page to your application page is high, it means that your webinar page is fine, and you need to go even deeper into your funnel. And you may land on your first page in your funnel, which is your webinar registration page, where people register for your webinar. And you may find that, let's say, that only 5% of people who landed on your webinar page registered for your webinar. So that means there is something wrong with your webinar page. Maybe the structure of that page is not clear, maybe it's too messy, maybe there is something wrong with the design, or maybe you didn't, maybe your ad copy is off. So you need to fix your webinar page in order to increase the conversion rate. However, again, if your webinar page, if your conversion rate on your webinar page, webinar registration page is, let's say, 20%, 30%, 40%, that means your webinar registration page is fine, and you want to go even deeper, not into your funnel, but this time deeper into your campaign. And this is where you want to, this is where you can find those leaks too. So for example, your funnel might be 100% fine, very well optimized, but your, let's say your cost per click is too high, or click-through rate is too low, and that means you need to work on your campaigns on Facebook in order to make this funnel profitable. So even if you have the best funnel, if you have a really well-optimized funnel, but your ad campaigns are off, it means you need to work on your ad campaign. So maybe try different ad copy. Maybe your message does not resonate with your audience. Maybe you are targeting the wrong audience. And you just need to look deeper and see where those leaks are. So just to quickly summarize this video, if you have a campaign that spends less money than it makes, you want to keep scaling that campaign until you are no longer profitable. If you have a campaign that spends more money than it makes, then you want to start optimizing and start making changes and start testing and really start analyzing your funnel, where the weak points are, where the leaks are. So is your webinar page converting the way it needs to be? Is your webinar converting the way it needs to be? Is your cost per click acceptable? Is your click-through rate acceptable? Is your what's the next metric? Is the sales calls conversion rate where it needs to be? And obviously there are different numbers for different industries. So for example, for your industry, $5 leads may be fine. For other industry, $15 leads may be fine, and for other industry, $20 leads may be fine. Okay, so there are different numbers. So there is no high and low cost per click, but because you can have a profitable funnel with $5 clicks, and you can have an unprofitable funnel with 30 cents per click. So the number can be very different per industry, but the key point that I want you to understand from this part is that you must understand your data, you must analyze it, and you must stay on top of it and track it regularly, ideally every single day, to understand what's happening. Because if your campaigns are not profitable, it's not like your campaigns are either profitable or unprofitable, because you can turn those unprofitable campaigns into profitable campaigns if you really work on it. And again, I've spoken to so many course creators and they ask me like, what's wrong with my campaign? It's not working. I tried Facebook ads and it doesn't work. But the truth is, only you can make it work. It's not that you submit a campaign on Facebook and it either does well or doesn't. You should have neutral expectations, and whatever campaign you get, you keep working on it. So even if you have a profitable campaign, you keep working on it. If you have an unprofitable campaign, you keep working on it, and it's just a process. And where most creators fail with Facebook ads and just Facebook advertisers in general is they try one campaign, it didn't work, then they try second campaign which is completely different, didn't work, they try third campaign which is completely different, and it doesn't work again. And the problem is you cannot create completely different campaigns, because like each time you test something, you need to have only one variable that you test. So for example, you created a campaign that has this targeting options, this budget, this placement, this message, and this ad creative, and if it doesn't work, next time you create a campaign, don't change everything. Don't change your targeting groups and then your ad copy and then your ad creative, because if it does work, you don't really know which change is responsible for this positive improvement. So if you created one campaign, it didn't work, and then the second campaign is completely different and it did work, you don't know what was responsible for it. You don't know if the new targeting group made this campaign profitable, or this new ad copy, or this new ad creative. You essentially don't really know how you made it work. So just to quickly summarize, track your results, stay on top of it, understand your numbers so that you can turn any unprofitable campaign into profitable campaign, and profitable campaign into even more profitable campaign. Thank you.